Acts 10:15, and the voice spake unto him again the second time, What God hath cleansed, that call not thou common. So why is it that God said we're not supposed to eat certain food in the Old Testament, but then it's perfectly okay to eat that food, especially pork, in the New Testament? Part of it is just that Israel was an earthly nation that was supposed to be set apart, and therefore the ways that it was to be set apart were always going to be much more physical. Certain rituals, certain ways of presenting themselves, and of course certain customs, especially cultural customs, in terms of what they were allowed to eat. But perhaps another reason is just to add to this metaphor here, because in reality, God isn't talking about food. He's talking about the Gentiles in general. See, the idea a lot of Jews had is that they were God's chosen people because they were better than the Gentiles, and the Gentiles were basically dirty and tainted because they were eating all of this unclean food. But what God's saying here is that he has cleansed this food, therefore it's no longer unclean. In other words, he's now made it so the atonement that washes away your sins is available to the Gentiles. Now, obviously it always has been. There were Gentiles who were saved even in the Old Testament time. But the point is that now all of these old rituals that set Israel apart are wholly irrelevant. In the past, Israel was the chosen nation, but Gentiles could join it by obeying all of these different laws. Whereas now, God's commanding Peter to no longer pay any heed to those laws at all. Ignore them. Don't call unclean what God has now cleansed. So yes, one reason why God gave all of these laws to set Israel apart from all the other nations is so it could be clear how holy they were to him. However, perhaps more so, the ultimate reason why he did that is so when he commands Peter to ignore these laws and recognize that in fact those who do what was previously considered unclean are in fact now fully cleansed by God. The moving on from the old covenant and the moving towards a new covenant where all nations and all people of the earth can be saved through God directly, not through their relationship to a particular nation, could be made absolutely clear.